Hey everybody, Icy Cat here. A couple of new headgears have just been added to the shop, and they go really well with an already existing CTU weapon skin bundle. Let's take a look. The newest addition is the GSG9 Leather Helmet Bundle Pack. If you go in the shop and down to the Bundles tab, you'll find it here available for 1,080 Rainbow credits. You cannot get this for Renown. Only Rainbow credits. You can buy these helmets individually from each other. They are available if you go under the headgear section instead. However, you will save almost 60% if you buy them as a bundle. If you convert Rainbow credits over to dollars, it comes in just about $9 or so, and these come in for a little under $2.50 per helmet if you get them as a pack. The theme for all of these is that they are leather with gold accents. They all have a very rich and luxurious feel to them. Normally, I wouldn't cover just headgears in a video. They are something that you can see for yourself at any time by going under the headgears tab. You can preview them and rotate the model around just like I'm showing you now. They're also harder for me to make video content for. I mean, you can see your weapon skin if you're doing a review on that. It's right in front of you as you play the game, but you're not seeing your own headgear unless you're looking in this menu or unless you're viewing it in the Winners Gallery lineup, but that's only a few seconds long. The reason I'm covering it this time, though, is that it is a fantastic match with an already existing CTU weapon skin bundle. Originally, when the game first came out with the vanilla operators, each CTU had a special pack that went with it. This was a bundle that you would unlock for that specific unit, and it would apply for all of their weapons. GSG9 had the LEDER skin as their bundle pack, and these are a really excellent match for the new helmets. Both the weapon skin bundle and the new headgears use similar materials. They both have gold metal accents on them, as well as brown leather with both a neutral brown and a darker brown to accent. They honestly look like they were made to go together. I wouldn't be surprised to see these released as some kind of a combo bundle further down the road where you get both of them together. If you've never picked up the LEDER skin bundle before, this might be a great time to do it. The pricing on it is much cheaper than it was when the game first came out, and frankly, it's a steal. The materials are luxurious and definitely have a classy look to them. Now, it's certainly not the most practical thing. A gold barrel on your gun would have too low of a melting point, and under sustained fire would kind of deform relatively quickly. You definitely lose the rifling on your barrel. But for the sake of argument, we'll just say it's gold-plated or something like that. Leather, likewise, is also not that practical. You'd be interfering with the ability of the weapon to dissipate its own heat under sustained firing conditions, but all practicalities aside, it does look really cool. This sort of straddles that line between things that are unrealistic and things that are more realistic. It's definitely not mil-sim levels of realism, and I'm still holding out hope for that kind of content to be released at some point down the road, but it's also not like the levels of some of the other sillier things we've been seeing in the game recently as well. It's probably a pretty good compromise between the two sides. I'm often asked what my favorite weapon skins are. LEDER is one of my top favorite skins in the game since it's come out. The look of elegance and class it brings to your weapon is almost as if Lexus decided to become a weapons manufacturer, or tactical accessories in the case of the headgears. The other question this brings up is seeing a set of headgears that match an already existing set of weapon skins so perfectly, creating sort of a customization accessory kit, then makes a person wonder if they'll take that even a step further. I get asked all the time, are operator body skins coming so that you can change elements of their actual clothing? Now, I'm not sure how I'd feel about seeing them rocking out full brown leather jumpsuits with gold accents on them to match this, but I'm sure they can come up with something that at least ties into the feel of it. Maybe if it's even just something as simple as giving them khaki jeans instead of blue jeans with, the brown. They all seem to be wearing like sweatshirts or hoodies or things like that on GSG9, so maybe giving them variations of the brown colors just so it sort of all ties into that, where it's not actually changing anything other than the color, so it all ties together a little bit more strongly. Something like that might be really neat to see. And people do ask me all the time, do I think that that's something that's coming to the game? I have no idea. I don't know, but I would think that it's something that is just kind of like the obvious next step, especially when you look back at some of the seasonal headgears. When you were in Season 1 for Black Ice, you could get a snow-colored camo headgear for every operator. And it didn't make a lot of sense because, especially for the operators with the really dark color schemes, so this would be like FBI, GIGN, SAS, you put a bright white headgear on like a black or a dark blue body or whatever, and it just it's like a giant thing that says shoot the head here, And same thing, you know, also when Dustline came around, you'd have these tan headgears, and some of them were a little bit more brown. Others were a little bit like a brighter khaki or a bright tan, like they were almost white but not quite. And there's even some brighter ones in the Skull Rain ones where some are darker greens, but some are also very bright greens. And these just scream shoot me in the head. But if you had a full matching body camo suit to go with it, it would make far more sense. I mean, like Buck and Frost are the brightest colors in the game for the way that they're kitted out. You know, with those whites and blues and grays that are on them, they're very bright in comparison to some of the other operators. But it works because their entire body is the same coloration as their headgear. So are full operator skins coming where they actually change the colors of their clothing? I don't know, but it just seems like the next logical step to take in the game. The big thing is you don't want to change the way an operator looks too much because they want them to all have recognizable silhouettes, and you can get into trouble when you're not sure who you're shooting at. But I think they've kind of already crossed that line with some of the new headgears, especially the clown and luchador masks. Simply changing the color scheme or the camo pattern that's on their outfit shouldn't be taking things in a direction that would make them unable to be recognized. And they also mostly have standout elements. I mean, for instance, if you see somebody like Thermite and he has a desert camo helmet and also a matching desert camo suit on for his uniform, you're still going to know it's him. He's still going to have like those goggles that are recognizable. He's still going to have that backpack. So I would think it's something that hopefully they're able to consider down the road. But this is all speculation and opinion on the matter. I just don't see why you'd make white headgears without eventually having a plan to release a matching bodysuit to go with it. Well, that wraps up this review of the GSG9 Leather Helmet Skin Pack and a closer look at the LEDER Skin Bundle Pack. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest news, tips, tricks, reviews, walkthroughs, and more for Rainbow Six Siege. And if you haven't already, you can follow me over at IcyCat25 on either Facebook or Twitter. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.